stream. I just found a new post. We are going to be going very much into detail onto this. Look at this. Ooh, this looks nice. What's the suitable entry on XRP? Sanjay, the suitable entry on XRP is probably $2 when it gets there, I would say. $2 is going to be always a good price for XRP at this point. And not financial advice, any form, but that's what I would buy that. Or 1.5 if it ever goes that low. Where do you see Dogecoin hitting this cycle? It really depends how much Elon Musk hits about it. But I did find something while we were watching this videos, a very, very important case for XRP, guys. Smash that like button if you haven't already. And there is a secret tie between BlackRock and Ripple. They've been building same systems under different names. Now, welcome everyone. And what we're seeing right now is XRP and BlackRock's secret collaboration. Now, let's take a deep dive into this because this is something that no other YouTuber has been talking about. This goes deeper than anyone realizes. So you can literally see here Ripple and the ISO 22 that I had 222 I have been talking a lot about. So basically BlackRock, $1 billion company, working or at least eyeing Ripple. Again, this is what I've been talking that will really pump the prices. Let's start here. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says the next generation for markets will be tokenization of stocks and bonds. But did you know the US Treasuries are already tokenized on XRPL? So basically Ripple Ledger via Ondo Finance.
Moving forward in tokenization.
He's been very bullish on tokenization.
But crypto is going to play a big role.
So guess who's quietly partnered with Ondo? BlackRock. That's immediately like the thing. That's why it really went this big. I'm not even sure how low it will drop. It really depends on the bear market. It's really hard to predict the prices. But right now, everything screams bullish for Ripple. It might be years before it even drops that. And if we ever see prices drop lower, it is more possible that we are going to be seeing like a black swan event. And at this point, like these corporations buying, I don't see it happening.
Bloomberg even, I believe we're going to be in the cutting edge of tokenizing bonds and stocks.
Again, you know, like buying 0.1 of stock, buying it on the exchange market. Again, everything is getting upgraded with a new tech that came out in the last 10 years with AI. So what are we going to do? Ripple and crypto is going to be entering on all this technology stuff.
It would democratize more.
The old financial systems are outdated and they need a new upgrade. Ondo's co-founder came from Goldman Sachs. Again, $1 billion, trillion probably company. So did many of BlackRock's top brass. So did Gary Gensler. You know, he literally came from Goldman Sachs. I think he was the teacher of Sam Bankman-Fried. So here's a wild theory as like Ripple faced the SEC, fought, settled, and walk away cleaner than anyone expected. What if it was an initiation? So this is what the guy is saying, that Ripple's lawsuit was potentially, you know, planned. Vice President of Partnerships, you can see him full-time. So all the big players, co-founder, came from Goldman Sachs as well. So I'm guessing like the Vice President, US iShares Institutional. Again, a Vice President for BlackRock is also a Vice President for Ondo Finance. Crazy theory, right? BlackRock's XDNA. And again, guys, I want to tell you this is non-financial advice. And from what I'm hearing, this is like a rumor. It's a very crazy rumor. But BlackRock, again, being a $1 billion, trillion dollar company, a great company that, you know, actively prints out money, entering crypto could be the next big thing. BlackRock has already an ETF called iShares Genomics, Immunology, and Healthcare Index ETF, XDNA. This ETF is all about investing in DNA, healthcare, and genomic infrastructure. So wait till you see that is happening on XRP Ledger. Okay, so this is a really, really hard read for most of you, right? If we end up hitting XRP $5 next week, it would be absolutely crazy. I think we are going to be seeing XRP really pump in September. But again, I am not sure what's going to happen. But seemingly, because all of the crypto government regulation will come out in September, this is when it could really rally, right? Like historically. You know, and it's going to be hard, but I did see crypto drop also 70%. You know, if it hits $5, I saw crypto drop 90% when we didn't have government saving us. So what's telling no that XRP will drop below 2? Maybe people bought it for $1 and still want to sell it and missed out on $3 for selling it. So this is the big thing. DNA on-chain launched on July 4th, the same day as President signed the One Big Beautiful Bill. In 2011, Bitcoin wallet mysteriously woke up. So their goal is decentralized sovereign identity, encrypted medical data. So this is like, for my IQ, is too much. But again, this is like a deep dive that we are seeing right now that no other YouTuber is talking about. So that BlackRock is entering. Like, this is literally wrote by someone very smart or someone that took way too much research. Again, props to him for writing this. But it's basically you basically have your identity for DNA, and BlackRock kind of owns this on the XRP ledger. So this to me is completely insane what we're seeing right now. Again, no YouTubers talking about this because it's very hard to understand, and it's also very hard for me to explain. But just to give you a recap of what's going on. So the CEO, Larry Fink of BlackRock, the $1 trillion company, is basically partnering on the ledger of Ripple via Ondo Finance. And again, Ondo Finance co-founder came from Goldman Sachs, and so did most of BlackRock, and so did Gary Gensler. So he's saying basically the lawsuit was basically a test for XRP. And it's not super insane to think that. Again, we would need more proof on that they launched like this thing to work with them, that they would have to pay $500 million and basically give them all the documents. So when you are getting sued by the SEC, you gotta think, a long-term play. You got to give all the documents. I guess you could check all the XRP finances, what's going on. You got to give everything to the court to see if there's something wrong doing. So you can see over here, Brad Garlinghouse just handed us a massive breadcrumb and most people missed it. The government owns your identity. Again, the DNA protocol that they own on the Ripple ledger. This is what Brad Garlinghouse said.
It's interesting though, the government owns your identity. Yep. If you don't have a passport or a birth certificate or a driver's license, whatever, I don't know each country's dynamic, but like, if you don't have those things, you are not who you say you are. Okay. The government owns your identity. Now, we may not like that, but I just view that as, that's just a truism. And one of the things Ripple has tried to do is we're pragmatic. Even though my philosophical view on something may be over here, to build a business and to drive the success of the XRP ecosystem, sometimes you just have to be pragmatic about the world. Even though I love the idea of blockchain-based identity as a utility for blockchains.
Again, this is crazy. If the SEC drops the appeal, XRP will definitely be hitting $5 in my opinion. It would be nice. But again, Brad literally confirmed it, that the XRP government, what if we're getting this big company, basically our DNA, your identity on the chain of Ripple, on the chain of XRP? That's literally what it all makes sense. Like, the more you start reading this info, the more you put your mind to this, it kind of blows your mind, right? Because this only has 14,000 views. Again, we got to check what other people are saying about this. But Brad literally said that he wants to work by putting this DNA on it. So Ondo X Ripple X BlackRock. Ondo has deep ties with BlackRock. Again, this is one of the biggest companies, BlackRock, and then Ondo has been pumping as well. Ondo's founder, Nathan Allman, is an ex-Goldman like many at BlackRock. Again, BlackRock and Goldman Sachs is a very big company, so maybe they didn't know each other before. They're all ex-Goldman, so is Larry Fink's inner circle. And I think this is connected because anyone really rich has worked at, Goldman Sachs. You kind of hear it all the time. Aladdin plus XRP. BlackRock's Aladdin platform is the central brain of global asset management, managing over $20 trillion. So $20 trillion they are managing. Rumors persist, unconfirmed but circulating XRP circles, that Aladdin have tested blockchain-based cross-border payment rails. Again, with how fast technology is evolving, I wouldn't be too crazy about it, and we are seeing the price on this. So XRP's interoperability with ICO 222 and FedWire's July 14 deadline makes it an ideal plugin. So again, BlackRock already has some technology that they might work with XRP. So That would be really nice. Ripple's push for tokenized RWA, so real world assets. I know a lot about real world assets, and they're really bullish on it. Again, a good choice from their side. Ripple recently emphasized its push into tokenizing real estate, treasuries, CBDCs, and commodities. So that's why Ripple really blew up, because we are going to be seeing crypto really pumping at this point. Mirrors BlackRock's digital asset strategy to unlock 100 trillion in capital through tokenization. So yeah, there is definitely clues that Ripple is going to be working with BlackRock at some point. Again, this could be a clue. They already have very Aladdin is already forming something of their own. And there are some nitpicks, like this is not a confirmation, but it is a hint. It is a hint of what he's hinting at, but again, it couldn't mean it's true. But I definitely think that if they work, they could work, because BlackRock basically owns everything. I'm not too sure what the connection of these important people like Gary Gensler, and Ondo and BlackRock. When you're in these spaces, it's very common to work for the same company. So if Ripple gets this partnership, it could definitely see $5, because BlackRock is a big company, right? And BlackRock owns a lot of smaller companies, which working with XRP would be like a small step. So yeah, would be nice. I'll sell my house if it hits $2 again. That would be awesome, right? Again, we don't know what the price will drop. We don't know what the price will go up, because we didn't expect XRP going from $2 to $3.4 in just a week. It never happened before. And, the SEC dropping the appeal will definitely help. So that would be definitely very nice. But yeah, right now we're going super into depth on what's happening here. And there's people commenting again. I think some of these stuff doesn't apply, but it's true that BlackRock owns, or at least is, XDNA on XRP ledger. So they're already working in a smaller way on being their own ledger, and XRP can process all of this stuff. So here, if we check the comments, maybes and hope makes total sense. Glad to be part of it. Why do we want BlackRock involved? Why am I all in? Your thread's very popular. What does it mean? Is Ripple deep state? Please just answer that one question. People don't understand it, and that's what I'm trying to explain. So BlackRock, basically what we're going to be potentially seeing is your own ID on the blockchain. I guess this could be also for confirmations, right? It's not going to be to invade your privacy, but it could potentially be so you can have your own crypto wallet, and it could be tied to yourself. The government has already talked about this. And if you want to open it on exchange, you can just verify your crypto wallet. Again, this is something that the government wants to do in the US. They want to tie it to basically your own wallet and your identity, right? Or your ID. And this is where the crazy stuff comes in. This is something that's going to be happening in 5 to 10 years. Again, it's going to make know your customer a lot more transparent and easier. So the lowest it will dip, based on my personal research, is 220. The highest it could go this week is 7-ish. It really depends on so much news how low and high will XRP go. XRP will not be a part of BlackRock. ICO is destroying BlackRock. God is this. So, this is the Twitter comments I'm seeing, is a lot of people don't understand that BlackRock is literally working to get partnerships like this. It's too crazy. It's a lot of speculative theory, but this is $1 trillion company in the making. And with the US government, talking with XRP and all their finances, all of XRP's finances being, basically shown to them, it just shows you that this might be the next big thing. This was posted 5 hours ago. Insanely good research. XRP might go from there and work in some way. I feel like XRP right now is still growing its technology. A lot of these takes are just potential theses other than verified sources. but definitely makes a lot of sense. So again, very, 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 very bullish news that came out 5 hours ago that I wanted to show to you guys. Again, mostly deep research that people don't understand how much this will, blow out basically. If this comes out to be true, again, this is $1 trillion company working with Ripple. You see potential in, wait, let me check. Do I see potential in XDC network? I got to check it out. I don't know.